Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code KELLER20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code KELLER20.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino here on a busy Monday. Fun program lined up. Great guests as per the norm. Ed Salmon's going to join the program in 30 minutes from the Westgate Superbook. Talk some NFL preseason with him. Sports bettor Sean Higgs in studio a little bit later on, in town for a Bet Bash, but more importantly, beyond the booth tonight, as we're going to be hanging at Stadium Swim with him. We'll get his Circa Survivor strategy for this upcoming season, and we'll talk about that show with the two producers of it, James Farah and Steven Shalansky, coming up a little bit later on. I'm through all 5 episodes. 6 through 10 dropping tomorrow night right here on VSiN, then eventually on YouTube as well. I watched all of them over the weekend, Paulie, and by about end of 4, beginning of 5, that's when they got into the Giants game when they lost last year to Carolina. It was down to about 150 people. I was still alive. That's the game that I was on. And that was my last ticket. Lost that game in overtime to a Carolina team that they were living right that day. The Giants were not. And that's how I bowed out. That was a rough one. Once they, and I think it started basically episode 5. I don't even know what happened for the rest of the episode because I couldn't stop thinking about that game from last year.
Absolutely.
It eats at you, man, when you get bounced.
Do you have any regrets? How you played it or maybe how you handled it as well?
Yeah, because
you're talking about, I think the implied value then was $135,000.
Yeah. It was more than 6 figures.
Yes.
Yeah, so, because I do for that 1 week, we were on the Chargers the entire time and changed it to the Giants. Chargers blew out their opponent that day.
Okay.
60 other people had them. Now, I will admit that, and I kept track of this live on the air last year, we would have gotten bounced, I think, in the second to final week. Because we would have been on the Colts, I think, against the Giants.
Oh, the Drew Lock game.
Sure.
Nothing you could do?
Well, at that point, who knows? We probably, we would have probably had Survivor Sweat involved at that point.
Yes.
Because you have to make money on this thing if you make a far enough run.
You didn't think about it at that point, though? Or
no, I was only hedging the games on my own.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. But that's, and we'll talk to Mike Buckmiller tomorrow, and he's in the episode, and he won in 2022. And he's a perfect guy to talk to as well about strategy, monetizing, and also he's in Grandissimo. We can talk about that as well. But this is, I thought episode 4 was intriguing and a polarizing guy, Sean Perry, and also I think Scott Tribuco. Comes right out. I'm great at this. I'm the best dancer ever. And my alias is greatest dancer. Coming in and putting these parlays together. We'll see more of them, too, because he made a deep run.
Sure.
Although I don't think he played it the right way, but he did. He's going to be interesting, I think, coming up, and I think has to be in these future episodes.
Yeah. Greatest dancer alive, and also the best futures bettor for 20-plus years.
Yeah, right.
His own words on the episode.
Some resume.
Yeah, pretty good. That's not bad to own that. So, takeaways from week 1 of the preseason anyway, and the biggest talking point, obviously, going back, this is like Thursday, Friday, certainly in a Saturday, is what happened with the totals and how many of those games actually went over. If you go back to the Hall of Fame game now, 14-2-1, that's the best week 1 mark in 20 years of the preseason in terms of going over the total. And, Paulie, they got there by an average of 8.6 points. First half overs, by the way, don't sleep on that, although first halves don't really come out until game day. 13-4 to the over, going back to the Hall of Fame game.
Yep. Dogs crushed it as well.
Yeah.
And going back to what happened Friday, Thursday and Friday with all the upsets and the line moves were horrible, with the exception of that Broncos-San Francisco game. I was surprised, actually shocked by the totals. Usually we get a lot of unders, what happened the last couple of years, but all the overs this week, and now it's wild to see what happens in week 2. And the overreaction, I would call it an overreaction, but how the lines are just going crazy now with the totals and significant line movement with all the totals and pretty much all the games here.
Okay, so I've been tracking this starting this morning anyway with the games in week 2. Earlier today, every game that was on the board had a total of at least 36.5. Now every game has a total of at least 37. So that's moved. 15 of the 16 games now have a total of 37.5 or more. 15 of that's a key number.
Usually we're in the 33s here.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah,
we are.
Yeah.
And then now, Paul, earlier today, 3 games had a total in the 40s. 3. Here we are, a little bit past 1 o'clock on the West Coast. Same day, 8 games have a total now in the 40s. So
that's nuts.
People are gonna come in at some point here and play the regression thing, I think, that just this preseason football backups are going to be in. Mm-hmm. These are too high. Also, my early thought here is, how about teasing some of these games to the under? We're talking about if you do a 6-point teaser, or actually if you want to do 7 points and just do a bunch of games on that, you can get like under 50 in some of these preseason games.
Yeah, to blindly bet the overs when we don't have information yet either. There's only 2 Friday games for whatever reason.
Yeah, how about nothing Thursday?
Yeah, bad move. So we'll still see what the coaches come out and say with the game plan and how long the starters are going to go and what happens at quarterback. In one of the Friday games, the Kansas City-Seattle totals up to 43. This is nuts for a preseason game.
I know.
Yeah, 39.5 up to 43. And then a big move on the Raider game, which they didn't look good against Seattle. But from 3.5 up to 6 against the Niners, who were not interested and had a ton of injuries and got boat raced by Denver. After they raced out to the 9-0 lead, it was all Denver the rest of the game.
Well, here's one for you. How about the game on Monday night? We get the Bengals and the Commanders. That was a game that took out a ton of Survivor players last year in week 3 on that Monday night game where the Commanders did not punt. So I'm looking right now at vsin.com at the odds screen. The opener at DK, the total was 39.5. Circa now has a total of 42. Golden Nugget 43, Win 43.5, Westgate 44.5 on the game for a preseason game.
Yep.
What?
Well, but they had no they had tons of issues against New England. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I mean, from the opening kickoff to how about 7 scoring drives and 2 punts for the Pats in that blowout win. And you would think with Burrow going again, it's like Cincinnati and Indy, the same team. Can you stop anything? Okay, what are we doing here? What happened with how McKee looked going up and down the field, and then what the Colts allowed and gave up? I mean, it's just the same song and dance with these teams, it appears, and that's I would think that's going to be the recipe Monday night as well.
We'll see here too. Again, the overall record here per the numbers: underdogs 11-4-1 ATS in week 1. They covered on average by 7+ points per game. That's a lot. 10 dogs won outright.
Yeah,
tying the most week 1 dog wins in 2 decades. You mentioned this. If you were following the steam, you got absolutely buried. 3-8 ATS teams with a 4+ point line move. 0-6 ATS. Absolutely shenanigans. And talking to odds makers and bookmakers over the weekend, I'm like, typically, I'm guessing you guys get buried, right? Of course we do. First week, this was on Saturday midday. Obviously, they absolutely crushed it.
Yeah. Have to, no doubt.
What did you think of watching the games?
I think the games yesterday were sloppy. The Bears game got interesting late, but it was a tough watch in the second half. I thought the Saints looked horrific.
Yeah.
I thought Rattler looked terrible. Shuck had the pick 6, but I still think he played better than Rattler.
He did.
And I think Shuck's going to win the job, and I would say tie goes to Shuck for week 1 starter. Could be wrong.
Also, so after the pick 6, which was not a good throw, he comes back, throws at 54. Now, the guy's open by, 3, 4, 5 yards?
Yeah, but that's
okay. Still a really good pass.
He looked good with other throws and getting them out of the pocket and how he played. And all the talk about Sanders, I thought Dart was fantastic to start on Saturday. Some of this is tough because Sanders didn't do anything against Carolina's first string. But then he looked good and they moved the ball and got the blowout win. But I think we could see, and I think a lot of us remember Tebow mania. There's people just losing their minds, right? Mm-hmm. He's a top 5 quarterback. He's a winner. It's his job. He's got to be. So I think between jersey sales and how people are rooting for him, and he's got a big following, that you could see all the bets coming in. They're going to win games. He should start. I think you're going to hear some wild takes regarding this kid, similar to when Tebow was the quarter. I think that's the case. No, I think he's he certainly can throw the ball a lot better. But it wasn't Tebow was a good quarterback. It was divine intervention.
Right.
How they were winning those games.
Yeah, I also think it's going to go the other way, where no matter how if the kid is like good, right, and he's playing in the regular season and it looks like he can play, people are still going to find a way to piss all over him.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that'll just be like, guys, knock it off. Come on. Because there is a path here where he's going to be able to play. Flacco's going to be the week 1 starter.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't go well or he gets hurt, Gabriel's already banged up. Kenny Pickett, I think at some point you just got to throw. He could easily be ahead of Gabriel on the depth chart and be ahead of Kenny Pickett. And maybe there's an angle here. There's a path where Shedeur Sanders is like the starting quarterback in Cleveland way sooner than we ever anticipated.
Yeah. But, all the hyperbole with that guy, and rightfully so. I thought Dart was also solid.
He was.
And Dart needs to get some flowers, too, for how he played.
Yeah, Travis Hunter played both sides, and then we had a kid nail a 70-yard field goal.
Yes.
Cam Little made that.
I can't
So
believe
that, by the way, when we looked at that, we brought that up on the air a good month ago.
We did. It's William Hill.
65 and a half, longest field goal this year.
Yep.
And I was like, what? We're going to get a 66-yarder again?
Yeah.
This Aubrey.
I don't know what Schottenheimer's going to do. I know what Big Mike used to do, but I would see it'd have to be a unique situation, I think, for Schottenheimer to try it, though. But the CeeDee Lamb, what are you doing? Can you imagine if he would have been out for the season? What are you doing?
No.
Standing there celebrating, not even playing, trucked by an official. I mean, that would have been all time. Sorry, guys, out for the year. Showboating, shenanigans, watching the game on the sideline where he's not supposed to be, gets hit and gets penalized. I've never seen that before. What is he doing?
An all-time Dallas Cowboys move.
Oh, man. All right. We're almost there. 2 weeks away, college football. Get our NFL and college football betting guides packed with team previews, power ratings, betting systems, the best bets from our analyst, the daily email from Bill 80, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the dog videos. Sign up today, $9.99, or save 50% off with the pro annual subscription, vsin.com/subscribe. Do it now.
Coming up next, we will kick around Major League Baseball betting. As always, some futures in that sport. This is going to turn into a fun sweat, and I will give you the projected pitching matchups for a huge upcoming series this week, next here on VSiN.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. We'll head across town now as Ed Salmons joins the program, VP of Risk Management over at the Westgate Superbook. Been doing it for a long, long time, and he's kind enough to join us here this afternoon on the Progressive Guest Line. Ed, good to talk to you. It's been a while. How are you today?
Doing great, Mitch. Paul, how are you guys doing today?
Doing really
Good,
well.
sir.
Really well. So typically in the preseason, all that steam usually has been pretty good for bettors. Like basically none of it got there over the weekend. A lot of the totals obviously went over. But my guess is a pretty good weekend for you in the book. Not so much for bettors week one preseason, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, first preseason week is usually a struggle. And this year it was probably one of the better first preseason weeks we've had in a long time. It was very positive.
Yeah. So now, I mean, these totals in week 2 are getting out of control. I mean, 8 games already are total in the 40s. I think every game has a total of 37 and a half. What is your opinion on that based on what we had in week 1? Or do you think that's the right move so far? Or would you expect regression here coming up?
I thought that the totals would actually come a little higher than they did, because week 2, obviously nothing's been said yet, but this is the week where some teams will actually use some starters for, I think last week, I don't think there was any starters that played more than a quarter at most. And sometimes teams will use the second to last week as a dress rehearsal type game. Now with the extra week, after the week 3, and then they have a bye week, that's kind of changed through the last 2 years. So maybe it won't be, but with the new kickoff rule, and it's still amazing to watch some teams that don't understand it and they run the ball out of the end zone when you can just get it at the 35. But teams are obviously understanding that this new kickoff rule, that you're going to get much better field position than you have in the last, so many years. So that definitely drives obviously closer to the goal line and better chance to score.
It also tells us that we're probably going to have higher totals in the regular season, at least to begin. Would you agree with that?
100%. I mean, always unless there's, there's some weeks you watch, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. It was week 1 and week 2, and they had the least amount of holding calls they've ever had, and then they kind of cleaned it up from there. So I think sometimes they put an emphasis on let's have some points early, because people like points for fantasy football, for betting, just for the overall viewing pleasure of it. And sometimes they kind of keep the refs, they hold them back a little bit. These guys love to throw their flags, and that could be a possibility. And then if we see that early, obviously the totals are going to rise.
What did you think about Sanders and Dart with their performances?
It's hard to judge Sanders because, he played against Carolina. They basically had half their first string playing, and they struggled in the first quarter. And then, as the game went on, he was going against the 3s and 4s. Obviously, he looks really good. He definitely needs to play with the 1s. We need to see him against the 1s to really get a better look at it. But, it's when you watch these guys in college and then you look at them in the pros, sometimes they look so much smaller in the pros than you remember them in college. And sometimes they look much bigger than you remember in college. I thought Shedeur looked really tall. I was surprised at how good physically he looked. So, it's still hard to imagine that he slipped to the 5th round, just given his height, his arm strength, and, he's such a young player. So I was shocked that he went that far down. So, the Browns definitely have at least something that they can use, sometime this year. It's obviously a position of need. The receivers there aren't going to help very much. And then Dart, I thought Dart looked really, really good in his spot. And, he's going to be behind Russ probably for the full year unless he gets hurt. So might do him some good just learning.
Have you had a lot of people betting Sanders to win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
It's been some sporadic money. Most of it so far has been, we have a prop up for Hunter to win Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. And it's 125 to 1. And that's the one that they just love.
Oh, they're betting it nonstop.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You're a big Philly guy. And I know that you were high on the Eagles last year, and it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Ed Salmons, longtime VP Risk Management over at the Westgate Superbook. He's on the Progressive Guest line. How high are you on the defending champs entering the year?
Well, this year, obviously, it's going to be a much harder road than it was last year, given that they're playing the first place schedule. You look through some of these schedules, and some of them just jump out at you as being hard or easy. Like the 49ers schedule is it's so easy. And then you look at the Eagles and the Giants and the Commanders schedule, and it's just so difficult. I mean, the Eagles have a really hard schedule. Obviously, the news of their left guard hurting his meniscus in practice last night, and it sounds like he's definitely going to miss some time. The question is how much. We had taken all under money, in the 3 months we've had this up on the Eagles under win, so we adjusted it to 11 flat right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that there's a dominant team in the NFC. You can probably make the case that it's nowhere near as deep as the AFC. The AFC, you can make a case for a bunch of teams. I think the NFC, you probably can light it up to maybe 3 teams, and I think the Eagles obviously be one of them.
Is there a team that you like maybe more than the market so far in the NFC?
There's a couple teams. I think the Giants got screwed with their schedule. I don't know how that's a last place schedule, but I think the Giants' talent level is just dramatically better than it's been in years. Adding in the Penn State defensive edge there, the receiver they got from LSU, I think he's really going to make a big jump with Wilson playing quarterback this year. And I can see the Giants, winning 6 or 7 games. So I do like the Giants over their wins. And Carolina's another team. I think the coach there has done a phenomenal job. He took Bryce Young, who looked like a guy that was literally ready to get cut. And he looks like he knows what he's doing now. They added a ton in the draft. And I think Carolina is going to be a team on the upswing this year.
Have you seen nothing but Miami under money for the last 3-4 months?
We've seen some of it. We've actually had some, sharp people betting on Miami to win the division and win the conference of late. And that's kind of surprising because outside of that, most of it's been negative on Miami.
Yeah.
To win the conference too.
Ooh,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know at what number?
I believe it was 40-1.
Okay. Same question then as a follow-up here on the Saints. Has it been mostly negative on New Orleans all offseason here?
Well, the Saints is interesting because I can remember before the draft, the Saints picked 9 in the draft. Is that right? They were linked to Shador at 9, I think.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. And it was really odd in that it was, I think Derek Carr retired, and then it was the Saints didn't take Shador at 9, and it's pretty obvious that they were just going to blow this thing up and start over. So when the season wins came out there, you just looking through their schedule from last year and just throw out the Derek Carr games, and this team was as bad as anyone in football. I mean, just a horror show. I remember that game they played at the end of the year in Green Bay.
Yes.
They could still be playing that game and not score.
Yeah.
And then just reading the stuff on Spencer Rattler this training camp, all I heard was how great he was, how great. So it was how to watch a game yesterday. He's as bad as he's ever been. He's just horrible. So we constantly use the Saints at a lower number. So we're loaded up on Saints over wins money.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay.
We've been on the low part the whole way. I bet under 6.5. I'm looking through the schedule. There's no way this team can win 7 games.
So you're basically just telling bettors, look, if you want to bet this team on a positive note, we'll take as much as you guys want to fire.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good job.
That's a great note.
Good answer.
Yeah. Ed, great catching up. Thanks so much for the time today. We appreciate that.
All right, guys. Anytime.
Thank you.
Good. There you go. Ed Salmons over at the Westgate Superbook, VP of Risk Management. Been doing it for a long, long time. And he was on the Progressive guest line.
At DraftKings, Rattler's $1.50 to start week 1.
I how?
Can't. No. Give me Shuck plus 130. Yeah.
Isn't it they're tipping their hand already? We want to lose. We want to get the first pick overall in the draft if they go with him.
Yeah.
Right? As the opening day guy.
I mean, they muffed a punt deep inside the 10, and the Saints can't even score off that. And then they're throwing picks all over the place, and look terrible. Oh, was it bad? Mm-hmm. And a big move on the Chargers, and no problem. How about the field goal? What was that all about with 2 seconds?
Well, you know what that was about. Win some, lose some. Up next, Paulie's going to cover all the line moves in week 1 and some nice dogs cashing in soccer and the UFC here on VSiN.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Vegas, as always, from the Circa Resort and Casino. Fun Monday program lined up. And in this hour, we'll get into preseason NFL observations in about 15 minutes. The line moves as well. The Major League Baseball card, we have Do You Concur? And this is going to be a fun segment as sports bettor Sean Higgs joins the program. He is in studio. He is in Vegas already for multiple reasons. Bet Bash, the sports betting convention, is this week. Beyond the Booth with us. You bought it out here at Stadium Swim. We're going to hang all night tonight at Stadium Swim out there with you. But also you're going to be entering contests and making some future bets as well. How are you, pal?
Hot. It's hot up there.
Yes.
At the pool on the roof when it's 100 degrees outside.
It's 108 right now. You've been there since 8 a.m.
Got in at flight landed early. We got in 9 minutes early, came right down and right up to the roof, to the pool at 8:14. And of course, the champagne comes right out. I sent you a little video of the champagne. It was
great.
They're ready for champagne. I said, listen, last year we were here. We did the champagne. It was birthday. I was like, listen, we did this last year. You guys were drinking, and we couldn't even get food by 1 o'clock. You guys were. I said, we can't start at 8 a.m. this time. We got to start. We'll start at noon with the champagne for you guys.
Did a great job. I know. I can't imagine. I lasted 4 hours Friday. It is just, and
it's a dry heat.
How about the accidents that must happen out there? Can you imagine if you're pounding beers in that heat and how you feel with it? It's 110 degrees.
Well, how has no one fallen down the escalator? Like I was like walking down.
Great call.
I want to get my steps in. I'm a fat guy. I've had like 4 of those little sliders up there already. How does somebody who's banged up fall down that escalator? Like just even sober.
And if that happens, you're taking everyone out
down
with you
as you roll down.
You're done. Bowling pins.
I left 15 minutes early to make it down that escalator.
You're going to manifest that now.
Yeah.
Watch out this week what's going to happen.
Yeah, don't say that. That'll be terrible. They'll come after me.
For the radio audience, you have a Buc-ee's shirt on.
Yes.
I finally went a couple weeks ago to Fort Worth. Can you tell people who haven't been there and put this in perspective? They do like 800,000 a day. 120 gas pumps. I was at the smallest one. They couldn't even get gas.
So, I mean, how do we word it? You've been there. So it's a gas station / Hobby Lobby, maybe a little Kohl's sprinkled in. Your
Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah. I mean, there's furniture. You have furniture. There's grills. There's deer stands.
Yeah.
Then you have your whole home section, like it's a home goods for the wives and girlfriends.
Phenomenal food.
There's like a whole nut section, the wall of jerky. I'm not a jerky. You think as big as I am, but I'll go to the meats. They got the beef over there and sandwiches and the Bucky chips. And of course the clothing. And they finally got wise. They start putting the years on them. So now you can't like regurgitate the same thing. That's like Bucky. So you need the 2025 Easter and Flag Day and any holiday. There's a Bucky shirt, but can't beat this. Look at this bad boy.
Good. It's awesome.
Okay. So you sent us a message that you have an interesting Survivor strategy this year. I don't know if you're being serious or not.
I am going to be serious. Listen, I was in the humans contest last year for like a millions type thing, right? And I was in the millions. And they're difficult, right? You got to kind of go with the pack, and I don't go with the pack. I'm automatically.
You got to think contrarian.
Yes. So I think contrarian this year would be underdogs. I'm going to take underdog. I think Jets, Giants, and Panthers are my first 3 here for week 1. I'm going to take in the contest and dog it up. It's either nothing to worry about, or I'll be in the control, right? I mean, if I'm taking a dog, there's going to be 800 people on the other side.
And nobody will be on other dogs.
Who's taking dogs in this contest?
And nobody will do
Just
that.
Just the guy with the Bucky shirt on.
Yeah.
And I got little pigs on my swimsuits. That's who's taking it. But yeah, I can't just go with everybody else.
So do you think?
Like I like the Browns. The Browns I moved to 5.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, so hold on. Do you think we're going to have a repeat of last year? Because we're all in it. The quest for $14.2 million. It's all fresh in my head. I just watched like 3 more episodes over the weekend. I'm all caught up. It was bedlam last year for the first month, as we all know. Then it calmed down a little bit. Like, are we really going to have that happen again?
I'm such a dog guy anyway, right? So if I think I'm getting 3, 4, 5, 6 points, my dog's in it. I got a chance to win anyway. You're a turnover away. You're whether it be a pick 6 or whatever. You're in it, right, to win the game outright. Why not? But that's the hard part in the contest.
That's the thing. What if you're on the wrong dogs?
It's always next year. Listen,
it's always next.
That's it. What am I going to do? That's what I say.
Why don't you step out? You can step out, like take Arizona. That'll be stepping out. And it won't be that popular. You're taking a road
Arizona
team.
won't be popular in week 1 against.
Well, still, it's a road team. It's going to be Washington at home against the Giants. Denver at home against Tennessee's your big boy.
I think Pittsburgh at the Jets could be a big one, although that's a road game.
I like the Jets.
Maybe.
I like the Jets at home. That's probably my favorite. I like Carolina a lot, but I'm not a Lawrence fan. I think, whatever to that guy. But the Jets at home, I think, is a play. Like it's like Aaron Rodgers. Oh, really? I mean, so I think the Jets have more to prove than he does.
So how many entries you thinking? And you're really going to go all dogs?
I grabbed one. I was out here a couple weeks ago with my wife and daughter.
Yeah.
I grabbed one. I'm thinking about doing 2 more. Because the Survivor, although if I'm looking at the board, how many more people are in Survivor than Millions? So I'm like, maybe the safe bet if I could work into Millions. But you go 3-2 every week, 60% over 100 games. That gets you nothing here. You have to be on such an outlier run to get into the money. It's difficult.
Well, plus Millions will touch 4,000 or 5,000 entries.
Yeah.
They will get that high. But also the beauty of that contest is if you get hot during a certain stretch, right?
You get the quarterlies.
That's the beauty of the contest and the payouts. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it is fun. To your point, I mean, think about that. You could hit 60% all year and come out.
Nothing. In the real world here, you're doing great. You're like, wow, I'm having a great season bet football, and you're winning every week. Here, it's like depressing. It's like, wow, I can't even crack a payday.
Yeah.
Just.
So overall, how many entries do you think you're going to be in? All football contests combined, multiple properties.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking I'm going to do 5 in the college one. I mean, 500 a pop.
Now, do you prefer college over the NFL anyway?
No, but I've been kind of decent in my college the last couple of years. I've been all right with totals and stuff. I mean, you get cats who are just, again, Chuck Adell, he's on another level, his things, but.
I like the 7 picks.
It's 7 picks, a lot less people. I mean, I just, I was little Vegas Mandy there said there's like 300 people so far in that contest. I saw a little updated picture. Mm-hmm. So I feel a little better in that. You get a little better shot, I think, size-wise, so grab a couple of those. But the big ones, I'll probably just do 3. I got the 1, maybe 2 more.
Okay, so you're high on Carolina, the Giants, and the Jets. Is that only for week 1, or do you have like season-long bets on those teams?
Well, no. I win totals. I got Miami under, and I took the Bears under. That's the only win totals I have for
under 8.5.
Yeah,
Bears,
8.5, and a little juicy. I think it's like a 1-4.
I'm watching the game, and
the Bears team. Yes, they got rid of their coach. But how good is this quarter? I don't know how good he is. I wasn't a fan when they drafted. I thought they should have Justin Fields. You can't just switch quarterbacks every 2 years with a new coach. You have a crap year this year, then what? Then it's going to be, well, he's not my guy. I got to draft somebody else. He's not my guy, right? Every coach wants their guy. I can't get it with that.
Yeah. The schedule's brutal. I was watching the game yesterday. They kept flashing the schedule. That's a big ass to go over 8.5.
I mean,
in that division with what they have coming up and
Monday night opener, which is a toss-up, because you got basically a rookie quarterback. He hasn't thrown a pass in a game.
Yeah.
And then next week you're at the Lions on a short week.
Short week.
Take the Lions 4.5 right now. There you go. I think that's that's what I'm looking
at. Look how they close. Eagles, Packers. Okay, Browns. Packers, Niners, Lions. I mean, that's just.
I mean, we're throwing the Browns out. That team did not quit on their coach last year. We could laugh at them. They were terrible, bad quarterback. They didn't throw it in. They weren't losing. I know they were bad and they were only losing 20-7 or whatever. But it's not like they quit. They didn't like the quarterback.
Here's what we forget about the Browns. They made the playoffs 2 years ago with Joe Flacco as the quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kevin Stefanski, for whatever it's worth, has won Coach of the Year twice since the year 2000. So you're telling me the guy stinks? Clearly he does not.
No, and the players love him. You got to quarterback. Mm-hmm. What is there to say? It's the most important position in the NFL.
But also, like, you look at alternate totals as well. Like, if you're going to bet the Bears under 8.5, why not take under 7.5 for some plus money? Like, there's not a path where they can be 7-10 or 6-11. Of course there is.
Mm-hmm. Who's the gimmies here? I mean, people are going to say, the Raiders. I don't know if that's a gimme.
The Saints has to be at home week 7.
They had to beat the Saints at home with who's ever quarterback in that club. But where?
Saints, Giants, Browns at home. Yeah, Saints,
I don't know if the Giants are. Again, Jackson Dart he looks so good. Well, we've seen teams look good, but you still have isn't Russell Wilson over there? We could make fun of him, but he's still a veteran kind of guy. I'm not ready to chalk that up as an easy win or a guarantee. Where's the guarantee? The Browns? I don't know. Maybe Sanders is the real thing. Maybe they get lightning and bottle again with Flacco. I don't.
Have you thought about it yet? If you make a deep run, and it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Sports bettor Sean Higgs, our guest here in studio. If you make a deep run, like let's say you're alive by Thanksgiving, are you going to get other people involved with your ticket? How are you going to manage that?
I was talking about this with my son. We were watching the 14.2 a little bit, and I was saying, I was going to do it. I was like, why would you do that? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, if that's the case, maybe by October, even you're talking Thanksgiving, but even by mid-October and October, maybe I'm in a good position.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that people sell off spots, If there's a certain amount of people, maybe it's like, oh, we're going to cut it up. Let's go. He's like, would you do that? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe just let her roll. Who cares? Well, he's like, Mom's not going to let you do that. I'm like, probably not, dude. That'll probably be, she's great. 21 years married. I'm here for a week. She's lets me come out every year. Bet bash or not, I get to come out 3-4 days. It's, I'd probably have to look to get something out of that one. See, I wouldn't be able to get out of that one. That would be tough. I'd have to bring people in and get some guaranteed pay down.
Are you a big prop player during the year?
No, I'm not. I'm not a prop guy. Not fantasy football. I'm cheering for a Jerry Jeudy or Lamb. I need a touchdown from this guy, but I have an under or have an over, and this guy's going off because I got him in my fantasy. I think you could do one or the other.
So it's sides or totals.
Sides
basically.
or totals for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I do like baseball ribby props. That's a little different, because I could be on a game that I'm not betting on.
I see that you're tweeting that out quite a bit.
Yeah, I like my little ribby props.
The ribby props, yeah.
Home run. Everybody loves home run props. Ribby props. You get. I look at one team and take like a 5, 6, 7 hitter. A bunch of guys in like the 140 kind of range.
Yeah.
You get one or two of them. Your
sack fly helps. I mean, that's good. You're good to go. The sack fly. You're not going to get a total base for that.
If the guy's that bad, the top of the order is going to hit, and there'll be guys on base for a bunch of the lower level guys. So I'll look for the. I could go 70 and 150 and still be up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you tonight after the show.
Yeah, I'll be up there.
You got the Beyond the Booth. We're going to be hanging out, 108-degree heat. You're going to be out there for 14 hours. God bless you.
I said, I think our boy Human's coming. I was like, hopefully, he's working tonight apparently, right? So I don't have to worry about. Double fisting Dom, that guy, and pouring on himself.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. You can follow him on X at Mr. Sean Higgs. Thanks, pal. We'll get into, I think I have a couple of Survivor tips after watching the quest for $14.2 million. Those are coming up next.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. We're live downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino as the quest for $14.2 million. Paulie, the documentary following people around who are in Circa's Survivor contest again this year. The first 5 episodes have been up, vsin.com/survivor to go check it out for yourself. It's also on YouTube TV, and beginning tomorrow night, we're going to get episodes 6 through 10. And the producers of this great show join us in studio right now. James Farah and Steven Shalansky with us. Gentlemen, good to see you this afternoon. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Doing good. Thanks for having us back to talk about now part 2 of the documentary.
Yeah, okay. So it cut off basically after 5. That's when I got eliminated last year. I said this earlier in the show. I was on the Giants in Germany against Carolina. Now I have to go back and watch episode 5 because that's how it kind of starts. And all I could think about was I just relived that game over and over and over again in my head as that episode was playing.
That was a pivotal game, and then the Panthers suddenly got hot for a few weeks and knocked out several Circa survivors, yourself included. So going into these next handful of episodes, it's pretty exciting because it starts to get real, right? And the money starts to get real. The implied value continues to go up, skyrocket throughout these next few episodes, and then the holiday picks come into play, which are obviously a huge wrinkle in this contest and what makes it so special. So these next few episodes really get good if you're into this chase.
Is there a tip or a piece of advice from any of the contestants that you guys talked to that really stood out the entire time? I like what Indiana Jet said.
I was going to say that. Exactly. And we do ask everybody that, especially the past winners, what advice do you have? Indiana Jet had very good advice, which was pick a team that you're going to sleep well with. Because you never know when you're going to lose. And it's obviously, it could happen at any time. But pick a team if you do lose, you still feel good about picking that team. Don't pick a team that if you lose, you're going to kick yourself and beat yourself up by saying, oh, I shouldn't have taken that team. I should have taken what my gut was telling me. So really kind of go with your gut and pick a team that if they don't win, you can still feel good about that was the right pick, even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, there's so much strategy that comes into play, particularly in episodes 6 through 10, right? Because as we just touched on, the holidays come up, and as Steven just touched on, not only do you have to make the right picks each week, but now you have to start saving teams. And then what if you don't have the right team? Yeah. What do you do next? Yeah. How do you start to think about hedging, all of that? So the money starts to get real. You can feel the sweat coming right into episode 6 as far as now it's kind of on type thing.
And in addition to that, once you get so deep in, you've already picked 10 to 12 teams. You've already picked a lot of the best teams. So it's kind of becoming, and I think it was Mike Somich who said it, like, because you're picking 20 out of 32 teams, you do have to pick some of the mid-range, the bottom half teams. But there are 12 teams you don't have to touch. So if you find out what those 12 teams are, don't touch those 12 teams. Don't go with a team that's like, I don't know, ranked 29 or 30 in any case. So that's kind of more advice that we were given. But yes, you have to go 20 deep, but there's 12 you can stay away from, and find your 12 and stay away from those 12.
Yeah, and there's several people who say, I don't like division games. There's people saying, I don't like road games, right? So there's all these different scenarios as far as what to do next, and it really starts to get real 6 through 10.
Well, you made great points there as well, because when we picked this up, it's 99 people left. You do a great job showing the implied value. How about a guy like Scott Tribuco, who was, because you pointed out, Jay, he was stuck. All he had was Chicago with that Christmas week, but he still was able to monetize the ticket with someone who actually was going to be on the show that won.
Yeah, that's a very unique opportunity to do that, and he was in a bit of a pickle with his, kind of who he had left, and he said, how do I do something with this, right? So we tell that whole story, and we really dive into to best case scenario, right?
Yeah, and Scott's a great character. We love talking to him. Had a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say,
as you can see in the episode. But that's a whole nother, like, when we talk to people now, as we interview people from the outset, especially now that the prize money has gotten so large. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but their goal may not be to win. Their goal may be just to get deep enough so that, yes, you're proud of the last 100. Your implied value is now,
6 figures plus.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you can start monetizing. So you can still really do well, even if you don't make it to the final, even if you don't make it all the way through to the end.
Yeah, you need characters, and certainly Tribuco's a character.
He is.
Come right out.
He is
a white guy.
Quite the character.
I'm the greatest dancer
I'm
ever.
the greatest dancer of all time.
Greatest, and that's
He's wearing his slippers up in the suite upstairs. We went to go talk to him. He had a lot.
His alias is the greatest dancer, and then also I'm the greatest Future's better ever. I mean, right out with it. Scott, my gift to the people, he said.
Scott does not lack for confidence.
Yeah, right.
No.
Right.
I think that also ties into another thing, too, and that was back to Indiana Jet for a second, right? At least Scott was able to capitalize, monetize that ticket overall. But as a former winner, Rob told people, I'm out after 3 weeks. This started with 14.2, that many thousands of people. We're down to 680. He goes, you need to plan for the full year. And if you think like you're feeling good right now, but let me tell you that this thing is far from over with.
Yeah. Right.
Like if you think it's going to be over with, like in the next month, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it was, it started out crazy, right? We all know that, the first few weeks, 97% of the pool was gone after 5 weeks. But then in these later episodes, it slows down a little bit. And all of a sudden, around Thanksgiving, everyone gets through. Yeah. And then the week after, 1 or 2 people lose it. So all of a sudden, it's like 40 people might chop this thing, right?
It's interesting. It slowed down, but it didn't slow down it didn't drop the significance of the sweats, because so many of those games that people got through on were overtime games, were 1-point games, were just nail-biting games. So it changed, but there were still incredible sweats and incredible intensity to make it through week to week.
Yeah, we talked quite a bit about the NFL Wise Guys because they had 6 tickets left with 99 left, which was unheard of that point in the contest, right? Yeah. So they had 6 left with 99, and their last handful of games I think it was 4 games in a row. It went to overtime or the last play of the game. So to Steven's point, the sweat was incredible for some of these guys.
Right. Okay. They went down to two entries after because they lost with a lot of people when the Commanders lost to the Cowboys. They lost 4 of their 6, so they were down to 2. But then, as James pointed out, they had an overtime game win with Tampa Bay. Then they had an overtime game win with Miami. Then they had the 1-point game when the Commanders beat the Saints by 1 point. Then they had another overtime game where they finally lost when the Cardinals lost to the Panthers, who ended up taking out so many people. It was this crazy, intense 4-week period that they had to endure.
All right, let's get the juices flowing right now. Here is a trailer, a sizzle reel for the show, The Quest for $14.2 million.
Boy, we really did it this year. We went from $9.2 million in Circus Survivor a year ago to this year, The Quest for $14.2 million.
I told you guys the contest was going to get bigger.
Everybody talks about it, but good luck trying to win it.
This is the biggest legal sports betting competition in the world. You know that's why I'm here.
You have to go literally 20-0.
We did it, baby!
The number 1 team goes down in week 1. The number 1 team goes down in week 2.
I've never seen carnage like this.
There's nothing close to this.
This is the gauntlet that you have to go through right now.
You're going to be able to see the thrills of victory and the agony of defeat. You're going to see why this is the world's largest legal football contest.
All right, fellas. So how did you create the show and then humanize it?
So what we try to do with this show is if you have $1,000 and if you can pick a winner, you're in, right? You don't have to come in to do max entries. If you got $1,000, you're into this contest. And we did the best we could do with explaining the rules, showing behind the scenes, getting all the different perspectives from the contestants to the guys like yourself, right? VSiN analysts, et cetera. Hearing from Derek, hearing from the sportsbook side. So we really tried to make this show understandable and relatable to kind of everyone. So if you got $1,000, you can come play it. And part of the documentary that Steve and I really lean into is explaining how easy it is to play this contest. You come to Vegas, you sign up, and you're in, right? And that's what makes this contest so special. And that's why every time we look back at that board, the numbers keep going up in this thing.
Yeah, I do think like any good reality show, it's definitely aspirational. Any person who likes football, and that's most of our country, and just worldwide as well. Anybody who just likes to watch football can play this contest and has a legitimate chance of winning. So, as James said, you only need 1 entry. We've had plenty of examples of people who come in with 1 entry, they go all the way, and plenty of people who might start out and then they tell their friends about it, and they're like, well, I could do that too. And it's true. Anybody could do it. It takes a basic knowledge of football, a lot of good fortune, and a lot of good planning, and that's it. It's aspirational. Anybody who watches football from anywhere in the world can come and play this contest and have a good chance at winning it, making it all the way through.
I like what Johnny Vegas said in episode 3 as well. I'm going to be in it every year for the rest of my life.
Right.
That I'm going to get in this contest. The Quest for $14 million. 10-part documentary following the drama, strategy, and heartbreak inside the world's largest legal football contest. Catch it. The final 5 episodes starting tomorrow, August 12th through the 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you missed an episode, watch the first 5 now. VSiN.com/survivor, VSiN.com/survivor.
My guess is you're going to see the pain oozing out of your TV from some of the contestants who get eliminated later.
As we just touched on, right, there's 99 left coming into episode 6, and all 99 think they got a shot, and guess what? They don't all win. So we experience that with them.
But the pain is right. Can you imagine going, and you guys did deep runs yourself, so you experienced that, but going 19 out of 20 weeks, or going 20 out of 20 weeks. This is the first year, and Mike Palm points this out. Every year when you get to the final week, everybody who's in the final week makes it through.
Not the case this year.
This year, not the case. More than half the people at the final week did not make it through.
Crazy.
Pain, yeah.
Fellas, great job with the show.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We excited to get this thing out and appreciate all the support.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code KELLER20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code KELLER20.